Hi guys, so as you can see, I'm no longer in the UK. Right now I'm in Barbados, and I just wanted to make this video just to kind of speak you guys through my traveling experience, traveling in a pandemic and how that's been for me. I originally planned to come to Barbados on November 27th. I was coming over here for independence and I booked it maybe a couple weeks before, and British Airways actually cancelled my flight because the UK went into lockdown and no flights were allowed to leave, so they cancelled my flight. So after that I was like, oh, okay, whatever, it's what it is. I kind of knew they were gonna cancel it anyways. Cool, they gave me a refund and that was it. Then December come now, I just decided to come out here for my birthday instead, which is in January. So the second time I booked my flight was on December the 30th. About a week before I was supposed to leave. It was December 21st. I remember exactly. December 21st is when it was announced that there's a new strain of COVID in the UK, and they were just kind of implementing stricter protocols and all kind of nonsense was going on. So I was just like, okay, I can feel a second lockdown coming. So I was like, do you know what? Let me try and bring my flight forward. Now, this is the thing. When you travel, you have to get a COVID test to travel. So your COVID test has to come back negative for you to be able to travel. So the government over here in Barbados required that we take our test 72 hours before, in the UK, take our COVID test 72 hours before we are leaving. So 72 hours before our departure date. I took my test on the 23rd of December and I got my results back on the 25th, they came back negative. So then by the 26th, that will be the 3 days. Do you understand? So get your test. I got mine at Express Test at Heathrow Airport. Simple. I feel like people exaggerated that test. The test wasn't uncomfortable, it wasn't painful. It was fine, trust me. It was about £84 and it was quick. They usually get your results back within 24 hours, but I think they had like a backlog of tests, so our tests got slightly delayed. But they say 24 to 48 hours, so we got ours within 48 hours because we got ours on Christmas Day. But we did have to chase them up because we were like, oh my god, we're flying out, like we need our results. And then they ended up giving them to us a lot quicker. So we got our test results now and head to the airport. Everything is as normal pretty much. Obviously you have to wear your mask, you have to sanitize, literally same as usual. You go to put in your bags, go through security, all of that. It was slightly emptier than usual, but same procedure. The flight was maybe like 80% packed. There was loads of people on the flight, loads of families, so clearly everyone's coming here to spend their holidays. So yeah, just had to have your mask on the whole time. There was nothing like significant that stood out in terms of differences in travel and experiences. Going there, it was pretty much the same. So I guess they don't have hot food on the plane, but I don't know, I was asleep and I bring my own food on the plane anyway, so I didn't really notice that. And I think as well, you're not allowed to order food. Like if you have special dietary requirements, you're not allowed to put in your pre-order for your food. And also in the airport, quite a lot of the duty-free shops and that were closed. But aside from that, everything was pretty much the same. And also the chairs are situated so that people maintain social distancing, so they have like these barriers to prevent people from sitting close to each other. That's it. So anyways, once we get to Barbados now, that's where it was very different. So we got off the airplane, we were escorted off the airplane row by row. So they would announce like a couple of rows at a time and then you go off to maintain social distancing, which was fine. It didn't take that long. Probably it was quicker like this instead of everyone standing up and waiting for 10 hours to get off the plane. So anyways, I got off the plane now, and if any of you have been to Barbados, usually when you get off the plane you go straight through to immigration, but instead they made us get off the plane, make us wait, and then a bus would come, like the airplane buses, and then it would literally drive us like 10 seconds down the runway to go to another entrance to get into the airport. So I guess they're trying to scatter out people coming in. So it's just like further down. So you're still going the same way. And then we walk through and they ask you for your COVID test and they also give you a wristband. Did they tell you what the wristband is for? No. Did I ask? No. But it's safe to assume that it's to show that we just landed, we haven't quarantined yet. Yeah, stay away from us type of vibes. So yeah, when you're walking through, before you even get to immigration, they'll ask you for your things, so you got to show them your negative test. So once you've done that, then you go through to immigration, and instead of filling out the immigration forms that you usually do on pen and paper on the airplane or in the airport, you would have filled it out online beforehand and uploaded your documentation to say that you haven't got corona. So you'd upload the negative test results online as well. All of this information is on the Barbados government website, so please, if you do want to travel, just look up the country that you want to travel to. Government website, they'll have all the travel information on there. So you've gone through to your test, you've gone through showing your test, you got your wristband, and now you have to go through immigration. They ask you where you're staying, if you're staying in a quarantine facility or not, and which we was. So you have to stay in a quarantine approved hotel. On the Barbados government website, they have a list of like all the hotels. Once you confirm that, then you go to immigration, show your passport, show the information just as usual, and then they let you go. And then you go again to like another section, and they asked you where you were staying, and they gave you temperature sheet forms that you need to fill out every day for 7 days, and then you have to take a picture of it when you filled it out every day, and then send it to whoever's on the other end of that WhatsApp. I don't know who it is, but they'll track you down. They'll call you and they'll hunt you down for that temperature sheet. So I've been sending it to them on WhatsApp. Then you go to pick up your luggage, and then you can go out, but you can only get in a taxi that's quarantine approved. So they have taxis sorted out outside for you. You have to wait to get out as well. They ask you again where you're staying, your name, and then they escort you to the taxis, and then they give you a taxi. So no one can come and pick you up or any of that. You kind of have to actually have an approved taxi come and collect you. So once the taxi came, it took us to the hotel, and then when I got to the hotel, we got designated our rooms. We weren't allowed out to get food, we weren't allowed out to go to the beach, nothing. You have to stay in your room until you were allowed out of your room. So what they do is they give you, you know, like an instruction paper with telephone numbers. They give you a website where you can order food. They did have vegan places on there that you could order from. It's kind of like an online delivery, Uber Eats type of vibe, which is great. They can deliver food to you, or if you know people here, they can deliver food to you. They just have to give it to reception, and then they'll take it up to your room. So we landed on the 26th, and then the 27th is when we got our test. So they called me, I think on the 26th in the evening, and then they were like, we're gonna arrange for your test tomorrow morning. So bearing in mind, on the website it says you need to have your second test at least 4 or 5 days after you've had your first test. So the 27th will be the 4th day in which our second test was due. It sounds quite confusing, but if you go on the website, you can actually put in, okay, I leave on Monday the 25th, when do I need my next test? And it will tell you. So yeah, ours was for the 27th. So on the morning of the 27th, we got the test. The test was free. I just had to pay for the taxi, which was, it was 120 Bajan dollars to go there, wait and come back. But that was all we had to pay for. We didn't have to pay for the test. So they called us, said, okay, you guys can have your test tomorrow morning. This was the night of the 26th. And then on the 27th, they called again to confirm. They said, when are you going to be ready to come and get your test? I said 5 minutes. So yeah, so we left about 11 a.m. got our test. Now this test was a lot different from the one in the UK. The one in the UK was nothing. It was like, oh, just a breeze. This one, they go right up, like really, really deep, and it's like almost like a burning sensation. But they only do the nose one. They don't do the throat one. They just do the nose one. Yeah, then they said we'll get our results within 24 to 48 hours. So we left, went back to the hotel, ordered something to eat, and then next day they called us about 12 p.m. around lunchtime or just before. I said results are negative. Woohoo! So then we left, we checked out, and luckily I booked my hotel dates from the 26th to the 28th, because that was my intention. My intention was to leave on the 28th, which we did. So we only spent 2 days in quarantine, right? So test on we landed 26th, test on the 27th, and then we leave on the 28th, and then that was it. And then yeah, continued my holiday, went to my grandma's house. So now I'm on the last day of testing, so I have to send them my temperature sheet with, you know, the temperatures to make sure your temperature's in check. Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. It wasn't as stressful or as difficult as people are making it out to be. Obviously, you know, it's very inconvenient doing these tests and all of this and going here and going there, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, look, I'm in the sunshine, like, so it was definitely worth it. But now they're getting a lot stricter, so now there's a curfew. It was 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Now it's 9 p.m. and curfew in Barbados means that you're not allowed out after 9 p.m. So it's not like, oh, you can just be dilly-dallying on the road, things close at 9 p.m. Like, no, you have to be inside your house at 9 p.m. Yeah, I mean, it's great weather right now. The beaches are open, everything's open. There's just curfew, there's social distancing, people wearing their masks. You have to wear your mask on the bus and when you're in shops, you know, just it's pretty much the same as the UK. I feel like they're just kind of thinking about going into another lockdown. I'm not too sure what's happening, but I think on the 14th is when they're going to make their next announcement. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, if I didn't cover anything, please let me know. It's definitely interesting to be, you know, in Barbados and experience being in the pandemic here and in the UK. Here, it just makes you realize how privileged we are in the West and in the first world. You know, because we are not taking it seriously in the UK. Like, people were having parties on New Year's, and when I say everything here was closed on New Year's, like nothing was open, like nothing. They done like fireworks for like 30 seconds and that was it. They're very, very on it here. People don't play. So yeah, like I said, I need to fill out my temperature sheet form, and that's about it, you know. So I'm here. If you guys have any video suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. If you guys have traveled during the pandemic, please let me know your experiences. If you've traveled to Barbados, please let me know your experiences. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.